Confirmed, Šeško is moving to Manchester United. Núñez officially leaves Anfield and Barcola goes to Liverpool. Thomas Müller has officially found a new club. All of this and more in today's episode. Manchester United is finalising the transfer of Benjamin Šeško. The Slovenian forward has chosen Old Trafford despite a more financially lucrative offer from Newcastle. The player has already agreed to personal terms and is ready to sign a contract until 2030. United offered a fixed €75 million plus €10 million in bonuses, of which the first €5 million are easily achievable. Newcastle tried to hijack the transfer, offering 80 plus €10 million, but Šeško declined, opting for Ruben Amorim's project. The parties are currently finalising the payment structure and the player is awaiting permission to travel to the UK for a medical. If all goes according to plan, the transfer will be completed in the coming days. Frankly, I think this transfer can be considered done. This move also effectively means that Rasmus Højlund will leave United. The club is ready to sell him for £30 million, and the striker himself has come to terms with the departure. Šeško will become the new leader of the attack, and this could change the entire team's dynamic. Manchester United doesn't stop. After winning the race against Newcastle for Benjamin Šeško, the management has turned its attention to a new target, Carlos Baleba from Brighton. The 22-year-old Cameroonian has become the next piece of Ruben Amorim's transfer puzzle. According to L'Équipe, United has already made an official inquiry for the player, who made 40 appearances last season, scoring 4 goals and providing 2 assists. His style, aggressive, dynamic, with good vision, fits perfectly into the new playing model of the Red Devils. Baleba has already attracted interest from several top clubs, but United was the first to make contact, aiming to complete a deal before the start of the season. Amorim sees him as the foundation for a midfield rebuild, with aggression, balance, and the ability to pressure opponents in every moment. Negotiations will not be easy. In the winter, Manchester City dropped out of the race due to a €120 million release clause, and Lille is entitled to 20% of any future transfer fee. But after winning the race for Šeško, United is showing that they are not just buying players, they are rebuilding the team around young leaders. Official, Thomas Müller will continue his career at Vancouver Whitecaps. After an emotional farewell to Bayern, where he spent over 20 years, Müller is not ending his football journey. The legendary German announced his move to Vancouver Whitecaps, an MLS club, signing a 1-year contract with an option to extend. "I feel as young as I did in 2010. It's time to open a new chapter with new fans, a new culture, and new challenges," Müller commented at his presentation in Canada. The Whitecaps' blue and white jersey now has a new star. Müller is expected to be a key player, both on and off the field. The transformation of MLS continues, and Thomas adds not just experience, but charisma and footballing wisdom. His debut is planned for the coming weeks. Vancouver is preparing a warm welcome, banners, memes, and even a performance in the style of a Bavarian festival. Liverpool is not stopping. Barcola could be the next diamond in the transfer crown. According to L'Équipe, the Reds are preparing an offer for Bradley Barcola that could reach €120 million, which is much more than the €50 million PSG paid Lyon 2 years ago. The French winger, despite being in 4th position in PSG's attacking hierarchy after Dembélé, Kvaratskhelia and Doué, had a phenomenal season. 64 matches, 21 goals and 21 assists. Liverpool has already spent over €300 million this summer, with newcomers like Wirtz, Kerkez, Frimpong and Ekitike. Barcola is next on the list, after Isak, whose transfer is currently being blocked by Newcastle. PSG does not want to sell, but sources at the club admit it's not 100%, and if the player himself requests a transfer, the doors might open. This is where the domino effect begins. In case of a Barcola sale, PSG would target Rodrigo from Real Madrid as a direct replacement. According to Fabrizio Romano, the Parisians are already monitoring the situation around the Brazilian, who has lost his stable starting place at Real Madrid after the arrival of Enrique and a change in tactics. This could become one of the loudest transfer chains of the summer: Barcola to Liverpool, Rodrigo to PSG, and Real Madrid in search of a new winger. And all of this is happening just a few weeks before the start of the season. How do you, my friends, like this transfer window? And what about the Isak transfer? It would be a sin not to mention it in the transfer news. Alexander Isak is isolated from the team and training separately after the club refused to invite him to a family day. According to Goal, the Swede was asked to show up at the training ground only after the event was over, which signaled that the situation has escalated. Isak spent about 3 hours at the training ground and, according to the source, had a serious conversation with head coach Eddie Howe. The coach himself left the team's base earlier than the player. Liverpool is not giving up. The club has already made a €120 million offer, which was rejected. Now, according to Football Transfers, the Reds are preparing a historic deal worth €162 million, which includes bonuses and phased payments. Isak wants to move to Liverpool. He has already agreed to personal terms and, according to David Ornstein, the chapter with Newcastle is closed for him. The problem is that the Magpies have not been able to sign a replacement, as 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗞𝗜𝗚 and Šeško rejected Newcastle, so they are stalling for time to find a new forward. There are still 3 weeks until the transfer window closes, but everything indicates that Isak will become a Liverpool player, possibly for a record sum in the history of British football. Darwin Núñez is officially leaving Liverpool and joining Al-Hilal. The clubs have agreed on the transfer of the Uruguayan forward for a fee of €53 million plus bonuses. The total value could reach €65 million. The contract is for 3 years, with an annual salary of about €21.5 million, which even exceeds Salah's earnings at Anfield. Núñez, who arrived from Benfica in 2022 for a record €85 million, played 143 matches for Liverpool and scored 40 goals. His form was inconsistent, especially after the arrival of Arne Slot, so the decision to transfer seems logical. At Al-Hilal, he will be a replacement for Neymar and could displace Mitrovic from the starting lineup, as Simone Inzaghi saw him as the only candidate for the striker position. This transfer not only strengthens the ambitions of the Saudi Arabian giant, but also opens the door for Liverpool to a new era in attack. Hugo Ekitike has already been signed, and negotiations for Alexander Isak are gaining momentum. The Reds are ready to spend a record sum, although their first offer of £110 million was rejected by Newcastle. Alvaro Morata is close to a move to Como. Negotiations with Galatasaray are decisive. The Italian club has already agreed on all the transfer details with AC Milan and the player himself, but the deal is currently blocked. Galatasaray is demanding €6 million in compensation to prematurely terminate the loan agreement, which is valid until January 2026. Negotiations between the clubs are scheduled for Thursday. Morata, who played 15 matches and scored 6 goals for Galatasaray, is strongly pushing for the transfer, as he has already agreed to personal terms with Como until 2028. Como's president confirmed, "We have done our part. Now we are waiting for Galatasaray's decision." According to Sky Sport, Como is ready to pay €3 million plus bonuses to Galatasaray, as well as €12 million to Milan, which forms a total package of €15 to €16 million. Douglas Luiz is close to a return to the Premier League. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, Nottingham Forest is actively working on the transfer of the 27-year-old Brazilian, who had a disappointing season in Turin. The club has already agreed to personal terms with the player and is offering a loan with an option to buy, which could become mandatory under certain conditions. The total value of the deal is around €40 million. However, Everton is not giving up. The club is also in the race and is offering a loan with a mandatory purchase option, but is not yet ready to meet Juventus's financial demands. The Turin club is insisting on a guaranteed 35 to €40 million to avoid losses after the €51 million transfer from Aston Villa. Luiz himself has resumed training after initially failing to show up for pre-season, protesting the club's decision to put him on the transfer list. Now he is ready for a new challenge, and Forest looks like the most realistic option for a career restart. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action and have a wonderful day.